Hi, I'm Candy from Quiltvine, and welcome to our Scrappy Strip Sew-Along. As promised, I'm going to demonstrate several of the scrappy quilts that I've shown you on the Facebook group and in the email that I've sent out. Tonight, I'm going to demonstrate the block from the quilt that is the header on the Facebook group page. To do that block, I started with a Kona Snow foundation, and let's just slide this down here to show you what I'm doing. Okay, the scrappy string quilts that I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be doing them all foundation. Some of them will be on fabric and some of them will be on paper. I chose a 10.5 inch block for this one, and the reason being is Kona is 42 inches with the fabric, so that I would have minimal waste. I cut them 10.5 and I can get 4 out of it with the fabric. At first I was thinking maybe I'd do 12 inches, but then I would have waste. So we're cutting 10.5 inch squares from our Kona. Then my print strings are all 2.5 inches wide. And this is what one of the blocks look like. So I'm going to need strings that are 2.5 inches wide of my prints, and then I need strings for my background fabric, and in this case, again, I used the Kona Snow. They will be 2 inches wide. My first strip I do like to pre-cut so that I can get everything lined up very centered. So what I do is I take, this strip is 14.5 inches long, because that is about what my diagonal will be. And you can see I get a little point here and a little point here. So I'm going to take my 14.5 inch strip that's 2.5 inches wide, and I just want to crease it a little bit so I can, in my centers. And I can just do that with my fingernail, or if you have your iron handy, you can do it with your iron, but I don't usually need the iron. So now I'm going to take a piece of, take my glue stick, and I'm going to run some glue right up through the middle on the diagonal. And I'd done it with pins previously, but glue stick is just so much easier and it lays flat, and I prefer to use glue stick. So I'm just going to have that little point sticking out there and a little point sticking out here. I'm going to lay that nice and flat so it's on the diagonal. I'm going to give it a little shot with the iron here so that the glue stick is nice and stuck. Now I've got my print going up the diagonal. Next, I'm going to take my 2 inch background fabrics or neutral fabrics or solid fabrics, whatever you want to use, and I'm going to sew that. I'm going to sew a solid one to either side of my print. And I'm just going to start right here. It doesn't need to be as long as that one, it just needs to go out past the fabric block. And with my 1/4 inch foot on, I am going to sew that on there, 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to sew to the end of the square of fabric, cut that off. Now I'll just usually finger press this here just so I can work on this side. I'm going to flip it around and sew my solid strip to the other side of my print. Now I'm going to take that to the iron. And press my solids over. And now I need some prints. Again, laying it here up to that side with the 1/4 inch seam. And I'll do it again to this side. Oops. Got it stuck in my foot. Better watch what I'm doing. Of course, when you're videoing, when things go wrong, okay, now press those open. Okay, time for another solid. Again, on this, my background block is 10.5-inch square. My print strips are 2.5 inches, and my solid strips are 2 inches. Again, we'll press those out. And now I just need a little print in my corners. I think you can hear the cat out there going crazy. It's that time of evening. I think he's the most mischievous kitten we have ever had. That's little Pete out there. Now I've got this, all my parts sewn on, and now we're going to trim up our block. So we just flip it over, and we're going to trim it even with our background block. And there I have a block complete. You'll see on the Facebook group and also in the emails I've sent out that I've laid it out 3 different ways. I haven't actually sewn it together yet, but there are 3 different ways I showed that I've laid it out. For a nice throw size, you need 20 blocks, 4 by 5 will give you a nice size throw. And again, that's a 10.5-inch unfinished block. And I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for joining me.